Hello there, this is welcome to another quick update tutorial. So I will be giving you a rundown on how I created this artwork using the new star pack from Video Copilot. Yeah, it's just great stuff, really is, and I've just been playing around with it today and trying to sort of put something together, and I'm just going to give you a general rundown of what basically went into this piece of work. So obviously, firstly and foremost, we have our Element 3D models, obviously. So I'm just going to close this and change it to that. And basically, I've got the corridor, I've got R2D2 in the scene. So as you can see here, we've got R2D2 in a scene. And basically that's all I needed for this actual scene in general. So I'm just going to go back to the work. Most of the actual project was based on using other elements. So if I go into my group settings, this is actually a PNG picture, which I added color vibrance to. And I added a depth of field, so I added a fast blur too. R2D2's lighting was sorry. Let's start again. So the color vibrance, I've got two sets for this actual model in general, with the blurriness. So that's basically what it's like without the blur. This is basically what it's like with the blur. And what I wanted to try and do was give a rendition of R2D2 beaming the light and basically shining this picture of, or this hologram of the Death Star. I also used, let's go and have a look, a shadow map. So I create my own shadow map. Yes, you can do it in Element 3D, but this was basically solid that I put in place, added a 3D layer to, and basically masked it and feathered it out, basically. So that was pretty easy to do. And obviously lighting is an important part, so I created a parallel light for this scene. I dragged it off the scene because it was sort of interfering with the Death Star hologram. So let's just go to here. So this is part of the Death Star, sorry, R2D2, which I created a solid and added a CC light ray, and I obviously made it from none to a screen, just to let it pop a bit more. I made it rounded, and I basically placed the actual light ray over R2D2's eye, shall I say. This is actually in the wrong place, so I've just seen that. So it's, look at here, I've just basically covered that, and just punch the radius up a bit, punch the center radius and the intensity up until it gave me some sort of realistic look that this image here was coming from R2D2's light ray or his eye. Rest of it was obviously done in Element 3D. So if I just go back to Element 3D now, I created a plane, and it was a standard plane with a floor that was part of the pack. So if I just go to the starter pack here, I'm just giving you a rough idea. So this is not really a tutorial, I'm just giving you a rough idea and basically put it together. So this is the corridor floor, which I added to the scene, scaled it up, so it actually fit the whole comp. If you look here, you can reduce the size, of the plane any way you see fit, so you can make it bigger, smaller, so on and so on. So that is basically the rundown of it. It's very simple. This lighting here, if you go to, I'll just try and find it now, this section here, so if you go down to glow, all I did was enable the glow for that. So if I turn it off, you can see that is what the model's like without the glow. So this is how it look, and then once I put the glow on, I set the glow form to illumination, and then I changed the color to a yellow, to give you some sort of idea or reference that the sun was beaming through these windows. And I put the glow gamma to 2.20, glow saturations 1.0, and glow alpha boost to 1. And basically what I did was I just played around with it as well. Made sure that I switched the motion blur on. So it's a big difference when you switch the motion blur on for all this. So it just gives it a really nice sort of artistic sort of look. So that's basically it. Very, very simple piece of geometry, piece of art, or piece of concept art. Obviously added a camera to it, so I could literally play around in my comp with the angles that I wanted. The Death Star, like I said, was a PNG file. And that's basically it. I brought the opacity of the Death Star down all the way up, and then I sort of punched it down to start off with as well, like so. And I could sort of play around with the overall general look. So obviously finishing it off, adjustment layer for color correction. It's entirely up to you how you would color correct your scene. But this video, I mean, it's just to give you a rough idea that this is the sort of thing you can create in Element 3D. Was the Star Wars pack. I will do another detailed, very detailed tutorial on how this was all put together. But I think you sort of, you know, if you're an advanced user, get a rough idea of how the scene was put together. So let's just quickly go over it again. We've got a scene set up for our Element 3D. So we've got our corridor, we've got our plane, which is obviously create a plane, which is here. I added the corridor floor to it, scaled it up, put R2D2 in there, and then that's it basically. Once I switched my comp, went into our comp, I started playing around with various ideas of what R2D2 could be doing in this scene, i.e. adding the Death Star, the color vibrance, which is another amazing free plugin, the glow effects, and the lighting to the scene. So I hope you found this video a little bit helpful or informative. A like rating would be appreciated, guys, and I will definitely catch you in the next video. Ciao, ciao. The arms by themselves, just change the texture of the arms and do what I will with them. So again, absolutely incredible model. It's going to come in very handy for a lot of people that are into Star Wars and just want to replicate some really cool Star Wars effects, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So we have a water vapor evaporator, which was obviously seen in A New Hope, very popular.